Some people call him the modern day Ed Wood. Some people call him kind of a rip-off of Tom Laughlin's, what he call country approach or place-to-place approach and promoting the movie. But all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the early 70s I'm talking about. When a movie is made for $50,000 and makes $5 million at the box office, it's got to be Preacherman. This 71 American comedy film, written and directed by the modern-day Ed Wood, Albert T. Viola. The film revolves around a backwoods con artist posing as a country preacher, who during a sojourn in a small North Carolina town, alternately misleads a local landowner to take advantage of his daughter, but also helps him sell moonshine to get revenge on a rival. Initially released mostly to theaters in the American South by small distributor Variety Films, the modestly budgeted film grossed over $5 million and played for years. It also spawned a sequel, Preacherman Meets Winter Woman, in 1973. It was widely distributed on home video by, guess what, Troma. Now starring Albert T. Viola and future soap opera star Eileen Creston, with cinematography by Jim Collins, edited by Thomas D. Bowen and William J. Sawyer, music by Roland Pope and W. Henry Smith. Troma has the rights now, 82 minutes, which means good B-roll. Again, $65,000. I never mentioned the distribution paid. And the cover features two cars smashing themselves in the air with two scantily clad women in lingerie standing in front of a bunch of guns. Now, after having sex with a girl who turns out to be the daughter of Whitehall County Sheriff Zero Bull, self-proclaimed Preacherman Amos Huxley by Viola is beaten by the sheriff and his deputy and left outside the county line, warned never to return. He's unwittingly brought back into sheriff's jurisdiction by local farmer Judd, S.D.F. Davis Jr., who picks up the unconscious Huxley and takes him to his home. Aware there's a countrywide roadblock looking for escaped convicts and likely himself, Huxley decides to stay with Crabtree, especially after meeting his daughter, Mary Lou, played by Kristen, who has been fooling around with multiple boys in the area. Under pretense of baptizing Mary Lou and curbing lascivious behavior, Huxley fools her into multiple sexual encounters and diverts Judd from noticing by sending him outside to watch for the angel Leroy. This is a comedy. Judd confesses to Huxley that instead of farming, he's generated income through an illegal still, a business sanctioned with Sheriff Bull and Bull's shopkeeper brother-in-law. Huxley, seeing a chance to make money and get revenge on Bull, suggests Judd can continue the business as a revenue generator to build a new church. Usually traveling saleswoman Martha is attracted to Judd as a new supplier instead of the sheriff's infrastructure. Other locals are brought into the operation, which becomes a huge success. The new venture draws the attention of Clyde Massengale, played by Adam Hees, one of Mary Lou's former paramours, jealous at no longer having sexual access to the now saved girl. Huxley tries to recruit Clyde into business to keep him quiet, but Sheriff Bull, noticing that Clyde is not working for Judd, despite their history of animosity, senses the boy may know about either Huxley or loss of his former bootlegging revenue and alerts him to Huxley's criminal past. So here we got moonshining, sexual encounters, identity theft, and a guy pretending to be a preacher or a preacher man. Now, the prisoner dragnet now ended. Huxley sees a chance to flee the country with Mary Lou, but convinces Judd and Martha to stage a large revival where he can proceed to rake in more cash. Clyde rats out Huxley to Bull, who raids the meeting. Judd distracts Bull long enough for Huxley and Mary Lou to escape, but as they run, Mary Lou admits to Huxley she loves Clyde. Huxley, somewhat relieved, tells Mary Lou he's left a large herd of profits in her bedroom for herself and Judd, and runs off alone. Clyde, upon reuniting with Mary Lou, misleads Bull and his deputy, allowing Huxley to make it to the next county, free and clear. Now, Preacherman Meets Winter Woman. Like I said, there is a tape, I think, of two of the movies together. Now, according to IMDb, I'm just doing this to clarify, some of the most interesting photos you'll ever see. It has an IMDb rating of 4.6 out of 10, which is probably 3 points higher than I thought it was due. Now, ironically, a stage version of the film was performed by the St. Bart's Players at the St. Bartholomew Community Club in New York from all the way to January 29th to February 1st, 1975. So a weekend sojourn. Now, if you look on IMDb, the trailer is just amazing because it just sums up the whole. Now, the quotes are very interesting, and I want to give you a few of the quotes. Amos Huxley said in a famous line, "You see, the devil created money, and now the good Lord wishes you to reach down deep and get rid of it." So thank you, Jimmy Swaggart, for inspiring this guy. So I can't stop laughing. There is an alternate version of the movie. Now, the Paragon video release runs 83 minutes, but some very obvious jump cuts on the picture remove most of the nudity. Now, the 83 UK video release on the Video Limited label is missing nudity for a scene where Mary Lou undresses and gets in the bathtub, as well as nudity from a sex scene between Mary Lou and the four guys, and nudity from a later scene where Mary Lou undresses by the window. And the American VHS version, of course, released by Troma, is uncut. So the situation with this movie, sexploitation, but this was late in the sexploitation game, well after the 60s. So the soundtrack is very interesting as well. Ballad of the Preacherman, music and lyrics by W. Henry Smith and Roland Pope, performed by the Appalachian Music Makers, featuring Frank Poindexter and Bobby Akins. Another World, music and lyrics by Albert Viola as A. Viola, again performed by the Appalachian Music Makers. I've Been Saved by the Preacher Man, sung by, of course, Eileen Kirsten. And I Want to Make My Home in Heaven, music and lyrics by W. Henry Smith and Roland Pope, and sung by W. Henry Smith. So this is a mini soundtrack. So go on IMDb or go on YouTube to find information on the Preacher Man. The reason why I'm doing this podcast, my dad saw this movie many, many years ago. I don't know how he saw it, but it was sort of like a B-roll movie at a local drive-in. It was the B movie. And the poster explains the movie more than I ever can, say like Robert Evans. This was like Billy Jack was around that same time. So what do you call place by place, but it was big in the Deep South because it had any movie involving moonshine, like the Ma Parker Gang, Crazy Mama or whatever it's called. But this is pretty weird. But the 3-minute preview, everything you want to see in the movie is in there. But when she became a big soap opera star, and she was nominated for an Emmy, like I said, it was kind of a mini sensation because they were saying, oh, soap opera star started off in softcore pornography. It's not softcore pornography, it's exploitation. So Troma, like I said, I don't know how much they made the VHS. They probably made a few million more because VHS is at a time between $59.95 and $89.95. So that's the ballad of the movie The Preacher Man. Not Son of a Preacher Man, but Preacher Man. One word. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing, we're a B-movie podcast as part of Screenshots. Let us know what you like, comment, subscribe, or share.